Hello, it's Tasha from The Purposeful You, and today we're gonna do a garden tour in our vegetable garden. We built it this year. There's 21 raised beds, and I'm gonna show you what we have planted in each bed, what we did with companion planting, meaning what vegetables you should plant together. We also incorporated herbs and flowers, and I'm just so excited to show you this garden. So let's get started. Before we go on the tour, I wanna let you know this is part one of the garden tour. We ended up splitting the videos in two. So this is part one. Go check out our page to see part two. So let's go. Here is our wall of peas, we call it. We planted 3 raised beds here. So this is still growing tall. We had peas up to 8 feet. We are just ready to finish this whole harvest and take these down and plant for the fall crops. So let's look at what we have in the bed. We planted nasturtiums on the sides because those act as a trap crop. If you have aphids in your garden, they will gravitate towards the nasturtiums and not hurt your peas and kill them, which is one of the pests that do like to eat on peas. This is our cool bed here. So this is our lettuce. We just had a huge rainfall and it is just flopping over. So we are gonna harvest some of this lettuce. We're getting ready for fall planting here. So we're gonna be planting some more rows of lettuce. Succession planting is so important if you want to grow food that you can't freeze like lettuce. So you don't want to plant all your lettuce at once. Plant it in stages. We also have some radishes here. Because this bed gets sun only after 1:30 p.m. we were able to do radishes over the summer. Now that is so rare here. Let's pull one out. Oh, so much color. I have never had a radish in July and it's so exciting. I'm gonna eat it. This bed here had spinach. We just harvested the spinach and now we are going to be planting for the fall. In the next 2 weeks here, this whole bed will be spinach. I did plant some bush beans in the corner here. Again, I'm trialing this bed because it doesn't get sun until about 1:30. So we are saying, hey, what can we plant here in the dead of summer? I would say it probably is a little bit too cool for these beans, but they're gonna grow anyways. We also did some peas on the outside here. Again, we're just trying to see if there's enough sun in this bed. But this will be our spinach bed in the fall. Here's one of our other cool beds. So this is all arugula. We have 3 different varieties of arugula. We had this arugula a few months ago. We've let it bolt and now we're actually going to be keeping the pods, and I'm gonna try to plant our own arugula next year. So if you let arugula go to seed, it has this beautiful flower on the top, which the bees love. So it is wonderful because it brings the bees and the pollinators into your garden. So I always let 1 row of arugula go to flower, go to seed, and then I'm gonna try to harvest some of those seeds this year. We just harvested our other spinach here. We're gonna plant that again. We planted some cosmos in the front. So good to bring some flowers into your garden. And we also have our sunflowers here. These are, we're just gonna see what they look like. Oh, they're gonna be our white sunflowers. I'm so excited for these guys to pop out really soon. Here's our bed of Swiss chard. We love growing it because we do chard cakes. We put it in our pastas. It is one of the most colorful vegetables. Oh, it's just so stunning. We did this peppermint variety. We did this, the red variety, and we also did this yellow variety. So it is just, you know, if you want to grow the rainbow, grow chard. It is beautiful, and it's also good in the cool months and the summer months. I also did a row of cosmos at the back, again, to bring in the pollinators to the garden. Okay, next up is our carrot bed. I just picked one. I'm so excited to be harvesting some carrots soon. I don't know about you, but I grew up just eating carrots out of the garden with dirt on it. There's just nothing better. So when you're doing your carrot bed, I would do a few rows at once, and then the next rows, I would do about a month or 2 later. You want a succession plan so you don't have a whole bunch of carrots all at once. I would recommend putting sage in your carrot bed. Now it's a perennial, so this is a commitment if you want sage all the time. I love to constantly prune sage. I'm always cutting it and drying it. You don't have to get it super huge. You can keep it small, but it does do wonders in the carrot bed. We've had no pest issues this year, which is great. I did have a little geranium in the corner here. I just have some pops of color throughout the garden. Don't be afraid to add flowers in your garden. Here's our kale bed. We did a lot of the lacinato kale this year, as you can see. We love it. I love to add it to kale, Caesar salads. It is just so beautiful. It looks like a statement in your garden too, you know, almost looks like a palm tree. Kind of has that tropical feel. I love this kale in the garden. So with this bed, we also planted some nasturtiums that are at the end of their life here. They've been in there for a little bit. As you can see, they're going to seed. And we have our second round of snapdragons. These bloomed in the spring, and now we're getting a full bloom now in July. It's just so gorgeous. I love snapdragons and what they bring to the garden. The little pop of color everywhere. Again, add flowers to your garden beds. It brings the pollinators. You cannot go wrong. So here's a good test. This was our first year doing onions. I did red onions in this bed, and it got about an hour of 2 less sun a day than it needs to. So this is as big as our red onions are gonna get this year. Hey, and that's okay. Remember that you are try your best every year. You just never know what's gonna happen. So this is our first time planting some onions in this bed, and now we know that it's just not enough sun. This bed is right beside the onion bed I just showed you, and all of our onions are just growing beautifully. And these get about an hour or an hour and a half more of sun each day. So that made a huge difference, especially when you are committing to onions, because it is a good 8-month process here. Thank you so much for watching Garden Tour Part 1. We're going to be posting Garden Tour Part 2 in the next couple days. Like and subscribe this video if you haven't. We're going to start in the tomato bed for Garden Part 2. So make sure you go and check that out. Thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you next time.